Hi guys. So yesterday you read about the Russian Revolution and how it has had an impact on the world today. So you should have turned that assignment in yesterday. Today I'm going to go over it with you really quickly, and the only other thing you need to do today is to complete the Google form in Google Classroom that says Russian Revolution, check for understanding. So we're going to go over the assignment really quickly. I'm going to show you where to find some of these answers, and then you can have time to work on your Google form. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so that way you can see what I'm seeing. All right. All right, so this is the article you read, How the Russian Revolution Changed the World. All right, so first question, before the Russian Revolution, Russia was ruled by, the correct answer should be C, powerful rulers called czars. Okay, so Tsar Nicholas II, okay, World War I, Russia's final czar, was forced to abdicate his throne, which we talked about in the notes as well. A number of you put A, communists known as Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks are the ones that took over after the fall of the czars. Okay, so the czars are the leaders that were overthrown. Number 2, during World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union, the answer should be B, joined forces despite their ideological differences. So during World War II, hold on, let me find him real quick. All right, so right here, the communism ran contrary to America's values. The US and Soviet Union joined forces during World War II to defeat Germany. We were both enemies of Germany. All right, and number 4, based on the article, which statement about Russian President Vladimir Putin is accurate? That would have been found all the way down here in Putin and a New Cold War. The correct answer should be A, he once worked in the Soviet Union spy agency, which is the KGB. Just realized I forgot to answer number 3. All right, so number 3, the Soviet Union was the first nation to send a human into space. Okay, so the space race. The United States developed the nuclear bomb first. We got a human on the moon first. And if the US did the nuclear bomb and landing humans on the moon first, then it cannot be D. All right, so number 5, what does the author mean when they say the Russian Revolution changed the world? There are a number of answers you could have picked for this. In general, without the revolution, the USSR wouldn't have existed, so no Soviet Union, no Cold War, and all of these things that we see right here would have changed. All right, why did we have a Cold War? How was it fought, and what impact did it have? So we had a Cold War because of our ideological differences. Again, we were afraid that communism, see in the orange is communist countries in 1980, we were afraid that communism would spread across the world, and democracy does not get along with communism. Now, that proved to be an unfounded fear. Today, only Cuba, Vietnam, Laos, China, and North Korea are communist. Everybody else that was communist is no longer communist. We fought the war through proxy wars like the Vietnam War and the Korean War. And the impact of the Cold War, we see, that nuclear buildup, the proxy wars, the space race, pop culture, etc. The impact of the Cold War on pop culture, you should have talked about Barbie, G.I. Joe, 1984, general books, things like that. How did the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan lead to the current terrorism threats? All right, so on Christmas Eve in 1979, the USSR invades Afghanistan. We want to help the people in Afghanistan fight against the USSR, so we arm the rebels to protect to overthrow the communist government of Afghanistan. So the rebels that we armed eventually become, groups like the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. So like Osama bin Laden was trained, with things and involvement that we see here, which all of that is explained here. Okay, so among those who joined was Osama bin Laden. And as we know, Osama bin Laden was the mastermind behind the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which got us involved in the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. and then has led to us fighting against ISIS. Although, as of the writing of this article, things have changed a little bit. We tried to create a peace treaty with the Taliban, and they immediately, broke it. So we'll see what happens next. What does Russian President Vladimir Putin want for Russia today? That should have been very easy to see. And then the political cartoon right here, there are a number of things you should have noticed. This is Vladimir Putin. Okay, he's reheating the Cold War. Notice that you have the communist symbol. This is 2017 when the article was written. Okay, so you can see that your interpretation should include in some way a description of renewing Cold War tensions. Okay, so what you guys need to do is, now that you have gone over the reading, well, I've gone over the reading with you, you should have read the entire article. There is a quick Google form that you need to complete on Google Classroom. Remember, for my class, do not rely on the class stream. That is how some of you are missing your assignments. You assume, oh, I saw one thing today, that's all I need to do. Go to the classwork section. Okay, go to the classwork section. And in the classwork section, each of the e-learning days has its own topic. You need to complete everything under each e-learning day's topic. Some days will have more than one thing to complete. Okay. All right. I think that's it. So tomorrow we're going to start a project that we'll be working on Friday and then all of next week during e-learning. And you guys will be required to attend at least one Zoom meeting and talk to me about your project over the course of those 4 days. So just be prepared for that. But today, all you have to do, I look over your article one more time, and then I would take that Google form, which is being taken as a quiz grade, so make sure you do that. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.